Welcome to Change Bites with Rafa Mustafa, where change management insights are shared in small, practical bites. Tune in for actionable tips and real-world strategies, with an infographic summary available on the Agile-Brainz LinkedIn page and website. Let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to Change Bites, the podcast where we unpack real strategies for leading change that actually lands. In this episode, we are talking about something that can either make or break your change effort: a clear, purposeful change vision. When people understand why a change is happening and what it means for them, they're far more likely to engage, support it, and take action. So, whether you're rolling out new tech, shifting behaviors, or building cyber awareness, getting the vision right sets the direction and builds confidence. In this episode, we will explore why a change vision actually matters, beyond the buzzwords. Then, how and where to use it so it actually sticks in people's minds. You will also get a simple 4-step method for writing a change vision that truly resonates. A quick checklist to help pressure test your vision. And of course, real-world examples from the field. Finally, we will explore how to handle vision when the change is sensitive, like when roles are impacted. Let's get into it. So, why does a change vision matter in the first place? It gives direction. It creates meaning. And it reminds people what success looks like on the other side. Without one, change can feel scattered or disconnected. But with a clear vision, you give people something they can hold onto. Something that makes the effort feel worth it. Once you have a vision, where should it show up? Think of it this way. If people only see the vision once, it probably won't stick. You want it to show up in multiple places, consistently and clearly. That could mean right at the top of your one-pager or roadmap, on your SharePoint homepage or intranet banner, embedded in launch sessions and learning resources, in leader toolkits and sponsor notes, or used verbally by leaders during town halls to reinforce direction. The goal is to make it visible, repeatable, and part of your narrative, not a one-off sentence in a launch email. Now, let's talk through a simple process to create a change vision. You don't need to be a copywriter or a comms lead to write a great vision. Here is a straightforward 4-step approach you can use. Step 1, define what's changing. What exactly is shifting? A system, a process, a behavior? Step 2, describe what this enables. What will people be able to do better, faster, or more easily? Step 3, quantify the benefits. If possible, include something measurable, whether it's fewer errors, more efficiency, or higher engagement. And step 4, make it real. Pull it all together into a short, clear, plain English sentence that people can remember. And don't forget, co-creating the vision with your sponsor and key stakeholders often make it stronger and more believable. So, how do you know if the vision you've drafted actually works? Here is where the 7 C's come in. Ask yourself, is it clear? Is it compelling? Is it concise? Is it concrete? Is it challenging but achievable? Is it credible? And finally, does it include a call to action? If you're ticking most of those, you are in a good spot. One thing to keep in mind is not every part of the vision needs to be spelled out. Sometimes your call to action, your challenge, or even your credibility is implied. It can show up in tone, structure, or quiet signals that guide how the message is received. That becomes especially important when dealing with sensitive changes. We will come to that in a moment, but first, let's ground all this into practical examples. Our first example comes from a cybersecurity uplift. The vision says, we are building a cyber-aware culture where teams can act with confidence, detect risks early, and protect what matters most: our people, our systems, and our reputation. This vision doesn't talk about tools or compliance checklists. Instead, it shifts the focus to behavior, mindset, and shared responsibility. It's empowering and strategic, something everyone from leaders to the front line can get behind. Now, here is another example, this time for a learning transformation. The vision says, we are giving our people control of their own development, anytime, anywhere, through self-directed learning with LinkedIn Learning. This vision is short and human, and it signals a clear shift in ownership, from top-down scheduled training to ongoing learner-led development. Both examples follow the 4-step method and hold up against the 7 C's. And both can be embedded easily into leader comms, launch packs, or toolkits. Now, what happens when the change is more difficult? Say it involves redundancies or role impacts. Should you still create a vision? Absolutely. But it requires a more thoughtful approach. This is where tone, timing, and honesty really matter. Let me share an example that shows that balance. We are reshaping our organization to be more focused and sustainable for the future. While this involves some difficult role changes, our vision is to build a structure that supports resilience, clarity, and long-term impact, without losing sight of the people who got us here. This vision doesn't sugarcoat. It gives a reason for the change and reinforces a respectful, future-focused tone. And this is one of those moments where what's implied carries weight. The call to action may not be explicit, but the invitation to rebuild trust, to adapt, or to refocus is clear. As change leaders, we don't just drive momentum, we help people make meaning, especially when the road gets tough. Let's wrap it up with a quick recap of what we have covered today. First, a strong change vision gives people purpose. It's more than words. It's an anchor that guides decision-making and behavior. Second, don't let it live in a slide. Use it consistently across comms, toolkits, and conversations. Third, you can build a great vision using 4 simple steps. Define what's changing, what it enables, quantify the benefit, and make it real. Fourth, run it through the 7 C's to make sure it's clear, compelling, and credible. Fifth, we also looked at some real-world examples, including cybersecurity, LinkedIn Learning, and restructuring, to show how the tone and context shape a strong vision. And finally, when the change is tough, don't avoid the vision. Adjust your tone, lead with care, and help people find clarity in the uncertainty. Thanks again for tuning in to Change Bites. You will find the key takeaways from this episode on my LinkedIn. If this conversation gave you any idea or something useful to try with your team, follow the podcast, share it with your colleagues, and stay tuned for more practical strategies. Until next time, keep driving meaningful change.
Thanks for tuning in to Change Bites. We hope these insights inspire meaningful change. For more resources, follow Agile-Brainz on LinkedIn and check the podcast notes for all shared links. Be sure to follow the podcast for more tips.